And this is Samantha.
With the power of we are here to switch it up and teach you about business, relationships, and how to not only survive, but make it in Los Angeles.
In each episode, we will have top influential guests from the world of real estate. We work hard,
We stage hard,
and we get it done.
the power of we.
Happy first day of fall. I love fall.
I love fall. And you know what? This year has been incredible for Elite Home Staging, I have to say. You know, our Instagram went from 4,000 followers to 10.5K.
And when I started, there was no Instagram. I hated all of that when we started. I was like, kill me. I have to do all this stuff because it's not the most fun.
But we've been posting everything we've been doing, especially like with these high, profile clients that we've been getting. And it's really cool because that one house I staged on Via Linda, you remember that one?
Yeah.
That one, they had a little bit of trouble selling it because it's a very expensive home.
Right.
And I got a call like last weekend, and it was for Poosh, Kourtney Kardashian's brand.
Right, yeah.
And we're actually going to be featured in their big like branding influencer event coming up.
Wow, this company of mine is going places.
I know, it's crazy.
And I have to say, even though I'm hard on her, let's give a big congrats to the one and only Dasha, who is my right hand, who has got it to 10,000 followers. Like, seriously,
Yeah, she's killing it.
She's killing
Social
it.
Media,
I'm always like, do other things, but the Instagram is definitely incredible. It's so weird that social media is such a big thing. I mean, honestly, was it this big 10 years ago?
No, definitely not. But now it's like, that's where like everything happens, where you find out about everything. Like I think people don't really like look at the news as much anymore as they look at like Twitter or, just like
right.
platforms.
And you know what's really cool? Like, I can't believe how many people DM us and ask us questions and invite us to things.
I know.
It's
and you
so
know what?
flattering and sweet.
I'm so excited about today because, we're very busy and we get so many DMs on Elite Home Staging's Instagram. We never get to respond to any of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Dasha does a great job. She responds to everyone she can. But this time, we thought we'd do something a little different and we would answer some of your questions.
Which is super exciting. I mean, even there's people from London that saw us speak in London at the staging forum.
Russia, London, Chicago, New York. I mean, it's amazing. Like, it's really cool.
I know, I'm going to cry again. No, it's seriously, before we start though, we just want to thank all of you listeners. You have been incredible. I hope that, you're getting a lot of about mindfulness, staging, like life as a, you're not a millennial. You're a, what are you, Gen X? But just whoever you are, we're really trying to touch everyone.
Yeah.
And you know what? I guess the thing I want to say is, please always be proud of yourself. If I can say that to you, and you get that, I've done my job here.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, let's get started.
Being said, so our first question is from, I'm not going to read like usernames, I'll just say like their name and where they're from.
Okay,
so
perfect.
Our first question is from Kelly, and she's from Santa Barbara.
Okay.
Her question is, when it comes to designing a perfect living room, what are the must-have elements for creating a space that's both cool and comfy?
Well, I'm going to answer, but I want you to answer because we have two different kind of vibes. When you're creating a living room space, I think it's very important that you have a flow that goes all the way through. So if you're doing a living room, you have the couch, the chairs, the ottomans, the coffee table, the rug, but it's all flow all the way through. You can choose whatever element that makes you feel good. Here's what I say about design. Designing is about your personal preference. Staging's another story.
Yeah.
But I'm doing a ton of design right now, and I'm really dealing with the person and what makes them feel good. Is it, a green velvet, or is it, all creams and whites to make them feel bright?
Right.
It's important to make that room flow, and you don't use too many different colors and fabrics. You have to be more clean about it.
Right. What I would add to that is, like, the flow is exactly what you're talking about. Like, if you used a certain kind of wood, kind of tie it into the next room and the next room. So it's like each room, if you put it together, looks like a catalog, not like each room's from a different design.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. I mean, there's so many staging companies that send me things and they're like, I'm getting bad feedback on this room and this room. And I said, well, let me see the entire house.
Right.
And then they show me the entire house and they have like purple in one room and green. You want to keep the style going all the way through, very similar. And also you want to make sure the colors are, because you want to make it easy on the person's eye.
Right.
That's in 2 cents my answer.
No, I think that's great. Amazing. So hopefully Kelly thinks so too.
Kelly, what do you think?
All right. This next one is from Dasha. Oh, she has the same name as that girl.
Where is she from?
She is from Russia.
Ah.
So, one sec. Let me pull up the question. Figuring out your design vibe can be a fun challenge. How can people tap into their own style and inject it into the living room design with more of a personal touch?
Okay, so when you go to, I know a lot of people get confused when they want to decorate their own house, okay? Perfect example, I went to a client yesterday and they were looking on this Elite Maison site, they didn't know where to start. So what you want to do is start with a couch. That starts your vibe, right? So whether it's a curvy couch, a straight couch, whatever it is, then you want to kind of look at what colors do I want to have. You always want to have 2 base colors, and then you can have a third one for your pop of color. That way it keeps it clean and easy.
Yeah, I love that. I couldn't have said it better.
Okay, good. I would read the questions, but I don't have any glasses.
So I will be reading them. Okay, the next one is from Gabrielle from New York.
Oh,
one of your favorite places.
Yes, New York, New York.
And
New
I know
York
they
is
have
such
kind
a cool
of like
vibe.
a different style there.
It's very
it's more
chic.
modern, chic.
It's very chic, very cool. I love
So
New
this
York.
is a great question that she asked, and I think a lot of people can benefit from this question. How can we choose the perfect palette that matches our vibe and adds the wow factor to a living room? And I think this is great for like that design you did with that beautiful marble that had like a little bit of browns in it, and it had the black like lines, and it was like a white marble. Because then you were like, that's our color palette.
Okay, so what she's talking about is we basically we're doing a design, and the fireplace, right, has beautiful colors of gold and blacks and whites, and the client is walking through. I have no idea what to do here, and I said, let's pull the palette from the fireplace, right? You have
100%.
1 point. And then we pulled it all the way through so it flows, especially in New York. New York is very vibey, so it's very straight lines, a lot of twigs, a lot of like, fabrics and fur. And
are more like they like the round shapes rather than like the square shapes. I don't know. That's what I've been seeing a lot.
Well, and it's since New York is a lot of buildings in New York City, they want to bring organic in.
Yes.
So it's more of a modern organic but luxury organic feel.
Right.
So, it's important. You can keep the creams and the whites and the, light grays, but you bring that organic feel, it pops it to another level.
Right. And how do they bring in that organic feel with like greenery and like wood tones?
Exactly. I mean, just get a clear jar and put some,
eucalyptus.
clear eucalyptus in there. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean, get some a couple fig trees in the corner.
Yeah.
When you're in a small apartment or condo or whatever, it's always good to bring organic flowers and pots, trees in, because it brings the outside in, and it calms your, and if you can, I really suggest real. Why? Because real gives you an oxygen in your body that calms your whole body down.
Yeah.
And it really does make a difference.
Amazing. I need to get some real plants for my house.
I think you need to redo your. Let me just tell on her for a second. You definitely need to redo that house. We've already redone it like twice, but I don't know what is going on. Next episode,
I think it's those
needs
cement
to be,
floors I have or whatever. They're
very hard and cold.
It's kind of like an industrial style building, and that's why, because I live in a loft. So my question to you is since I live in a loft, it's an open floor plan, right? So my ceilings are super high. I have beautiful high windows.
Right.
But it's very industrial. The cement on the bottom is like a cement kind of floor. Okay. And on the top, it's like a dark wood. But then it's metal railings.
So it's very hard. So you know why? This is when people some of my young stylists are like, I hate shag. Well, let me tell you, high-end shag is hot right now. Hot. So you need to bring in a high-end, white, long-haired shag in there, because we need to soften up everything.
Yeah.
And then you can put in a gorgeous, sectional. I think you should do, what color is really popping right now
green.
Is that emerald green.
Yeah, I want
We
green.
could do a white. We can do emerald green, white all over.
Yeah.
And then we can do, organic, eucalyptus in there. And in your dining room where we have that big mirror, let's, soften that area. It's so hard. So doing fabric, boucle chairs with a soft wood, and then to throw a white hide coming out of it. So it's softens that area.
Yeah.
It's really important when it's industrial. You need to soften up the areas. Otherwise you're so cold and you're okay, this is really uncomfortable,
Definitely. So we're going to do that.
So did that help you?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome, my daughter.
It's so funny because, I feel like any interior designer can relate to this. When you're doing other people's homes, it's almost easier than doing your own house.
Of course.
Maybe not for you.
I know. Because how many times have I moved?
Times.
I just moved again, and I just finished my Palm Springs house.
I know.
Oh my God, that is so exciting. So I just finished the first Airbnb, and I made it. You know what I did? I made it Hollywood meets Palm Springs.
I love that.
When you go to Palm Springs, you see the bright colors,
Palm Springs is like old Hollywood.
It is, exactly.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring that, and you know what? People have come in and they're shocked. We've gotten a lot of design from it, but they're shocked,
Yeah.
I like to always
make a statement.
Yeah, I definitely like to make a statement.
We do know that. Our next question is from Lindsay from South Carolina.
Ooh, South Carolina. I love South Carolina. Everyone's always so nice there.
I know.
You guys are so nice in South Carolina. And especially when I go to High Point. That's North Carolina, but it's wow. People are so kind.
This is a good question. This is for specifically small living spaces, so apartments or condos. What are some tricks to make it feel larger but still look stylish?
I think that's a great question, by the way. And I see a lot of people making mistakes when they move into an apartment. They want to cram in a bunch of furniture.
Right.
That is not the thing to do. So you want to look at the space and first look at where your TV is going to go.
Right.
So you picture the TV and you can put a cabinet underneath. Then you want the TV to look at it. So a lot of apartments have odd designs, right? So you put the sofa so it's facing it. Even if it's a tight space, like my new house, it's a tight space.
Yeah.
But you make sure there's enough space. You could have a coffee table and a walkway.
Right.
And then just put one chair. So again, you have the rug, the sofa, the one chair, and then you look
table.
in. And it's it all flows.
Right.
So
and sometimes what I think you do in small spaces is if you use a patterned rug or something a little bit different, then you don't have to put as much furniture because that rug makes a statement in itself. So it's a patterned rug with a light white couch and then
you're
a black
learning.
chair.
Oh my God, you're totally learning. I do that, don't I?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even realize I do that.
As much furniture, as much accessories, but you have that statement piece, so it still looks
Well, actually,
boom.
you know who my idol is, right?
Kelly Wartzler.
Yeah, I love her. I'd love to get her on the podcast. Jesus. Actually, Dasha, work on that. Anyway, so what I've noticed, when I first started following her, she was doing like the Viceroy Hotel, and it was very like, green and like cool colors and like black and whites, and it was super cool. I fell in love with it before you were born. Hello, that's crazy. And now I see she's really into like each furniture making a statement.
Yeah.
So
like a lot of different
I'm
patterns.
definitely into less is more, but there is a wow in that room.
Yeah.
But that room also has to flow into the other rooms. And you don't have to make such a wow in the other rooms because the living room just made that statement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's why people really love my designs.
Yeah.
It's so fun. I'm getting to design again because you're running the whole damn company, which is crazy. I mean, how old are you?
I'm old.
No, you're not. You're 24,
I'm
girl.
almost 25.
I mean, when I was 24, I was selling cell phones. I wasn't doing what you're doing. I mean, even though you're my daughter, like you've taken this on so strong. And I really think, going to Loyola really shaped you. And helped you become the person you are.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of times we get employees that, don't take time seriously. And you know what my biggest pet peeve is?
Time management.
Yes, and being late. And I can't stand that. It shows a sign of disrespect.
Yeah.
And so, like, when I go to my design clients, if I'm late, they're going to be like, what?
What?
I'm dealing with high net individuals. So
but it's
I
also
can't.
like respect for their time, respect for your time. If you show up early, then you respect their time.
Right, and that goes back to design. So, if you're a designer or a stager, you really need to take the time and figure it out. Actually, Nicole, I think it's important because, there's a lot of staging companies that follow us.
Yeah.
And what you did when you came into the company, because when I had the staging company, let me tell you what I did. I literally went to the house. I knew everything in my brain. I went back to the warehouse. I never took anything that didn't need to go back. But that's my brain.
Yeah.
And then she's like, Mom, I can't do that. I'm like, well, what do you want me to tell you? So what did you come up with? And
I think it's super
stagers,
important if anyone has a staging company or trying to start a staging company is you come up with like a system that works for your company. And thank God at Elite, since I've come on, we have our own inventory system. We have our own like design boards we do. So everything is planned before it leaves the warehouse. So when our stylists get to the warehouse, they know where everything's going. Plants, accessories, rugs, artwork, trees, it's all pre-planned, so we are able to stage it in one day, whether it's a 800 square foot condo or a 10,000 square foot home.
But really one of the things that you're missing is you brought in the lookbook that the stylists are required to create a lookbook, because for me, when I do accessories, this is the hardest part for a lot of stagers, accessories. And that's why I want to bring it up.
Yeah.
So she created a lookbook, right? So all they need to do is look at their living room and go, okay, on that coffee table, we're putting in this, this, and this.
Right.
On that dining table, we're putting this, this, and this. So they don't have to take extra stuff. The team doesn't have to put it away when they come back.
Right.
Like, that is a huge thing. So make sure, if you have a staging company, please create a lookbook for your stylist.
Yeah.
And make sure they take that when they go to pack their accessories.
But it does start with that inventory system because, like, we're very grateful. I'm grateful. We have everything so organized and on a system that once it's in their order, it's reserved for their job, right? So they're able to put it in a lookbook. A lot of these companies, unfortunately, are still, where you were like 16 years ago, and they don't have that system yet. So they don't even know the photos, right? So I guess what you could do is, if you don't have a system, is you could find photos of what your sofa looks like, and you can do it that way, right? So if it's like, you have a green sofa, you can Google green sofa. So you kind of have an idea. So it's not the exact inventory, but yeah.
Yeah, and that brings me to gratitude. Honestly, I'm super grateful because we have an amazing team.
We have an amazing
it took
team.
time to build it. And what do we say about having your own company? The best part of having your own company is having a team around you that you can trust, that gets you, and that understands. I mean, we are a family business. Nicole is my sales manager, and my fiance runs our back end, and he's super organized and crazy organized that he gets what I want.
Yeah.
I don't have to do anything, because before I was losing my mind.
And it's important to find people who care about the company.
Right.
Obviously no one's going to care about it as much as you do, but like at least have that care to want to take on the role you're giving them and like take it on themselves, if that makes sense. Not just do their job. They need to take on that role.
Right. And that brings me to another point. A staging company called me, and they were like so upset because one of their best employees left and started a staging company. And this is what I want to tell you guys about that. You know what? You need to think of it as a compliment.
Yeah.
Because you trained them, you started this amazing career for them, and they just were smart and decided, you know what, they could feel like they can do it. Never feel like that is a punch in the stomach to you. Feel like it's like a gift, because really you've done something really, really good. I know it's hard at first, but it took me, a few years to really understand that. But, I've had so many people come through my company, and, some start staging companies, some go off to do their own, some do their own things, some do, all kinds of different things. But you know what? Everyone comes to you for a reason. I really believe like that. The people that come to us is because they're ready for the level we are at. Right? They're ready to grow mindfully, spiritually, 100%. And career-wise.
Yep.
Right?
100%.
Yeah. So, it's just really important that, you have a great team around you, really.
Yeah.
So, any more questions?
We have a couple more questions. So we have a question from a lady named Lucy in San Francisco.
San Francisco. I love San Francisco. I did the first Apple House there.
Oh my God, yeah. When was that?
Oh my God. Don't even age me right now.
Yeah, I remember that story. Okay, let me get to this question. How can we arrange our furniture and set up our living room to make it feel more inviting and functional? So I think that's a good question, because it's different.
I think you should answer that, actually.
To set up a room, I mean, I'm going to go more in terms of staging, right? Mm-hmm. So inviting and functional, I mean, first of all, it kind of goes back to what Samantha said. You want to see where the TV is, where the outlet for the TV is, and kind of plan the room around that. Either if it's a sofa with 2 chairs, 2 ottomans, a coffee table, 8x12 rug, or a sectional with a chair in the corner. But one of the things I would say is make sure you know the size of your furniture. And some people have an eye for it. Some people need to take measurements, so you need to know which one you are. And don't just guess, because it's about like sizing is huge. You know what I mean? Like
I know we've had stylist calls going, oh my God, the furniture looks too big in here. And then they send stuff back. It's important to know your inventory.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you're doing a living room, this is crazy, but a lot of people don't place the furniture correct.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And that is, important.
And like spacing, I think, is something that you talk about with the stagers a lot, at least. Like, remember the house we did in Westlake? It was like $12 million house, and I called you because I was like, this room looks so weird. We had great furniture, it looked beautiful, but there was something off, and I couldn't get my wrap my head around it. And you were like, you need to move the 2 chairs back to open up the space more on the right side. The 2 chairs on the left, move them back, move the coffee table a little bit closer, I think it was to the sofa, and move the sofa back. And when we did that, it just opened up the room completely.
Yeah, so if you guys are confused, it always goes back to spacing. So always open it up a lot more than you think. It's really important. Don't have to shove everything in one area and think, okay, it needs to be super close. Like, make sure it flows nicely. If it's still looking funny, ask somebody else. Somebody else's opinion, even if they're not a stager, they'll give you their opinion because they see it differently than you see it,
Yeah.
I think that's really, that's how I learned, actually, in the very beginning.
Yeah.
So I'm super stickler for spacing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think, I get that.
Yeah. I think that,
There's so many things we could talk about.
I know, but, I really appreciate that people are writing in. If you guys have more questions, definitely ask us. I mean, since we went to London, like, we've had so many different people from all over the world following us.
Yeah.
And that's been really fun. We love doing that. If you guys have suggestions on different kind of guests that you actually want to hear from, let us know, or topics or whatever.
You can DM us on our Instagram.
Yeah. And thank you for DMing us. That's like, it's so exciting when, Dasha lets us know what's happening, because we have, 3 different companies. So, it's been great. And I guess the last thing I want to talk about is, as a staging company, I'd had it for 15 years, and I really noticed that when I would go out and stage homes, people wanted to buy my furniture, right? But I didn't always have everything they wanted. So, that's when I really decided to open up EliteMaison.com, where you can, we are having such success with Elite Maison because people can go on and buy all kinds of stuff. And if you don't know, and a lot of people don't know, please click the interior design. Nicole will pop on for an hour and see your space and show you, okay, you need a couch there, one chair there, a coffee table here, a tree in this corner. And that, once we do that, that will help you and will guide you to be able to pick the furniture. And that will make your life so much easier, because not everyone's a designer. That's why I created this. So it makes it easier for you guys. And then guess what? If you do a mindful space, we will donate a portion to the Battered Women's Shelter or the Midnight Mission. And, it's just really cool to give back to community and watch people grow that actually don't have anything, or just came from a very hard situation, and it really changes the name of the game. So we will definitely have a lot more for you guys to see on that. But if you are interested and you need furniture or accessories or anything, please DM us. Please go on EliteMaison.com. We are doing a lot of events. There's so many different cool events that I'm staging for through Elite Maison. So we are here for you guys, and send us all your questions. Nicole, what about you? Anything else you want to say?
Send it over. We're always here, and we can't wait to see you next time. Hello, lovely people. This is Nicole.